What we have here are the Streamlight Strion flashlights. These are ultra compact, rechargeable, very bright LED flashlights. They're used by law enforcement, EMS, firefighters, many applications, security applications, hunting, outdoors, fishing, many uses around the home. Streamlight has made these Strions for many years. They started off with an incandescent one well over 10 years ago. Then they came out with the Strion LED, and it has a switch here on the end, high, and then you hold it in for medium and low, or you double tap for strobe. So that's your regular Strion right there. That one's a little bit beat. It's taken some use over the years. The regular Streamlight Strion is rated for 260 lumens on high, 65 lumens on low. Also has medium setting. 10,000 candle power is what you're going to get out of that on high. It'll shine 200 meters and it'll run 2 hours on high or 7.5 hours on low. Then Streamlight came out with the Strion HL model. That's what this is. It's the exact same length, which is 5.9 inches. In the HL model, the only difference is the ridges here are a little bit different. And then, of course, it's a bigger LED that's in this light. So that the HL model, instead of 260 lumens on high, it's going to be 500 lumens on high. And then, of course, it's 125 lumens on low. Also has a medium setting. And on high, it's 10,000 candle power. And that'll shine 200 meters, so the same distance that this will. But this is only going to run for 1 hour on high. Well, this will run 2 hours on high because that's 350 lumens. This is 500 lumens, and it'll run 3.5 hours on low. So both of these are nice lights, the same size. So this is just more of a wider flood beam. This is more of a center hotspot. This is going to light up a whole room a lot more. And then they've always made an HP. They came out with that a little bit later, but they made an HPL, which this happens to be the dual switch HPL, which just came out, because you can get this light here without the switch right here, and that's 615 lumens. But if you get the HPL here with the two switches, it's 700 lumens. But this light is the same. This is basically the newest of the Strion family. Streamlight's making the Strions now with dual switches. They're still going to make them without the dual switches, but with the dual switch, there's a couple other changes in the brightness. So this one here happens to be a dual switch HL. But if it was just a regular Strion dual switch, it's going to be the same length. So we can see it's a little bit longer than, if you get the Strion without the head switch. The dual switch is going to make it a little bit longer, but it's still enough that you can keep in your pocket. So if you haven't got one yet, then maybe I would recommend getting the dual switch because it is brighter. They've increased the outputs on the dual switch. So like this one without the dual switch is 260 lumens, but if you get the dual switch, it's going to be 375 lumens or 12,000 candle power instead of 10,000 candle power. And it'll shine 219 meters instead of 200 meters. And the low power on it is 40 lumens instead of the low power on the non-dual switch is 65. So this low power is going to run for 20 hours. But the one you see here is the HL. So that's the high lumen version, of this one. So the HL here, this is 700 lumens. This Strion dual switch HL right here. This is going to be 700 lumens on high, 40 lumens on low. It'll be 12,000 candle power on high. It'll shine 219 meters, and it'll run for an hour and 15 minutes on high. So these lights, this is the Strion HL. And if you get it from Southwest Public Safety, they engrave that as a marketing tool. That's what that is. But these are both the Strion HL lights, but the dual switch, that's not the only difference, it's just that it has a second switch. 500 lumens, this is 700 lumens. 200 meter distance, 219 meter distance. This one is 40 lumens on low. This one here is only going to be, it'll be 125 lumens on low. So But by this only being 40 lumens on low, this is going to run on low for 20 hours. Well, this on the low is only going to run 3.5. And then, of course, you know, this is 260 lumens, but if you get the dual switch version of it, it's 375 lumens. Then, of course, this, wasn't sure if I was going to get this light, but this is a nice light. The HP version, you know, obviously this is now a little bit too big now to keep in your pocket, but it still would be comfortable to holster on your belt or have close to you. With the bigger head, this is going to be a further beam distance. So it's 615 lumens if you don't get the dual switch with a switch here, because they all come standard with a switch on the end. And, you know, and they all do high, medium, low, and strobe. But the new dual switch models, doesn't matter if you get a dual switch HP or a dual switch HL or a dual switch on the traditional Strion. If you get the dual switch, the output is going to be more. It's going to be brighter. The runtime's going to be longer. And with the dual switch, they have this 10-tap programming, so you can change the programming if you wanted to deactivate someone from being able to use the strobe, or if you wanted to deactivate medium and low and just make it be high. You just press this switch rapidly 9 times within less than half a second. On the 10th time, you press and hold, and I believe that you press and hold until the light goes off, and then it'll change to the next program. But just because it has strobe doesn't mean you have to use it. It's more for like disorienting, you know, an attacker or for signaling applications. So they all charge, I think it's about 3 hours to charge a fully dead battery. They all take a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. You can get different configurations with AC chargers or DC chargers or both. They also have, I think, some new USB chargers now too. So if you have a USB hookup in your vehicle, you could plug it right into a USB. So the only other difference is this is the dual switch. This is 7.5 inches. If you were to get this without the dual switch, it would be 7 inches even. But like I said, without the dual switch, it's going to be 615 lumens. Where with the dual switch, it's 700 lumens. So that's pretty much the facts. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Right now, let's go test them out and see how they do. Let's see what we got here. Let's see which one here first. So, this is your traditional Strion beam pattern. This right here is the Streamlight Strion LED. And this is not a dual switch. So this one, I believe, is 260 lumens. So there is the Strion LED with just the tactical switch. There's strobe. There's high, hold for medium, hold for low. So there's the low setting. And it actually is a little brighter on low than what it appears on the camera. And like even the high, I think it's a little bit brighter than even what it appears on the camera. But that's the high. And if you get this in the dual switch, then that'll be even upgraded lumens. So there you go. And now the next one in brightness. This is the Strion HL model. So Strion HL, which stands for high lumen. There's strobe. So compared to a traditional Strion, this is just a little bit more of a flood beam, but this is rated at 500 lumens, but same candle power, you know, same beam distance. It's just going to be more of a floodlight. So, but it still has a good center hotspot, so it's not just a flood. It just lights up a room a lot more. So for tactical applications, you know, the high lumen HL model is going to run a little bit. It's going to run a little bit less because it's so much brighter. It's a bigger LED, so it's going to run 1 hour of runtime. There you go. High, medium, low. So that is rated at 500 lumens. Now we're going to do the Streamlight Strion dual switch HL, which this one's rated at 700 lumens. So it's very similar to the 500 lumen HL, but the dual switch HL is rated at 700 lumens. And you know, it is a little bit of a difference. It's you can definitely tell the dual switch HL is a little brighter. There's medium, there's low. Now the low on the dual switches, what Streamlight did, they made the low output on the dual switches even lower. And the reason for that is to extend the run times of these lights. You know, in emergency situations, or if you're in the woods, you're going to be able to last all night long on the low. It's going to go 20 hours at least. But there's the high strobe. So the high lumen models are very nice. Good for tactical purposes for sure. You know, it's going to light up a whole room really good. And let's see, I'll try to put the camera right here so you can see this. So this is the 700 lumen dual switch Strion HL. Then that's the non-dual switch Strion. So this is a Strion HL right here. It's the Strion high lumen, 500 lumens. And there's the dual switch Strion high lumen. So there's a high lumen without the dual switch, high lumen with the dual switch. It's hard to tell the difference a little bit against this wall, but the dual switch, it's rated at 700 lumens over 500, and I would say it's brighter. Now, that's the Strion traditional beam pattern right there. I don't have this light in a dual switch, but there's not too much difference with a dual switch. Just the run time is a little bit longer, and it's a little bit brighter. And then here is the dual switch HPL. So this is one of the newest Strions. This is the dual switch Strion HPL. So it's supposed to have basically the best of both worlds. It's supposed to be high lumens and high output. That's what the HPL stands for. And this light, you know, it has a bigger, reflector on the end, so it's a lot bigger, and that allows it to have a longer beam distance. The beam distance on this is rated at 420 meters, and it's 44,000 candle power. You know, compared to a traditional Stinger, it's a lot, or I'm sorry, Strion, it's a lot more. So this Strion HPL, it's 420 beam distance with a dual switch. If you don't have the dual switch HPL, it's only 400 meters, and it's 40,000 candle power. But this is 44,000 candle power and 420 meter beam distance. So there's strobe. So there's, you got high, hold it in for medium, and hold it again for low. And I can activate that on both switches. So you have your dual switches, so you can activate it, you know, right here if you wish, or on the end. So there's high, and this is a very focused beam, but it still has that 700 lumens of peripheral vision to light up a whole room. But it's got a very bright center hotspot. It's a very bright light. It's not so much pocketable with the bigger head, but it is the biggest size Strion and the brightest size Strion that they make. And this light will be almost as bright or brighter than a traditional Stinger beam. This is more lumens and more candle power and a further beam distance than a Stinger, unless you get the Stinger HPL. But this is even really close to the HPL. So there you go. Strion dual switch HPL, high, medium, low. And the low is for extended runtime on these dual switches, so it is a lot dimmer. But that's gonna, you know, allow you to be in the woods, you know, hunting or camping, and the light's gonna go with you all night long. So there you go. There's high, very bright, blinding white light, strobe. So these lights are used for law enforcement or any other application. Very bright lights. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll get back to you.